Welcome back, or if you are just joining me for the first time, welcome to my channel. I'm Trisha with Chocolate Musings. I love to bullet journal, which includes planning and journaling in one, paint, draw, and create lettered art. This channel is dedicated to help you find your inner muse and grow creatively in your life's journey. Today I will be finishing up, mostly finishing up my February monthly. I am going to complete some of the doodles that I've got here. I haven't yet decided if I'm going to fill in the letters for February or if I'm just going to leave it faux calligraphy style. I also need to complete the dates. I missed last time 20, skipped this one, and 21, so apparently this Wednesday does not get a date. And so I've still got to decide what I want to do with this line and this line, if I want to white it out. I was also thinking of putting some color codes down in this box. I have my Micron Pigma pens, if you can see. I usually use between the range of 0.25 to 0.35. I like the 0.25, the 0.3, and the 0.35. They seem to be they seem to have a good width on them. If I want thicker lines, of course, I will use the 0.5, and the very feather thin lines, I will use the 0.2, but I do rarely use that just because I find that it is a little bit too thin sometimes. And why not just start with a little bit thicker of a tip, if you can see that, to start with. So this is the 0.3. I'll show you a couple of these if you're not familiar. Alright, so this one's the 0.5 and this one is the 0.2, and I can't get that in focus here because it is very thin, and then the 0.3. So the 0.2, as you can tell, is very, very thin, and then we've got the 0.5. So I am going to start with the arrow and the banner that goes around here, and then some leaves. I may continue the leaves along, and then I did leave space for another flowing banner here. But I am going to add some extra lines here, at least on the capital letter. I forgot to fill those in the last time, and I like the way that looked. All of these lines I did trace, but I don't think that I am going to use a ruler on anything to keep the doodle style. I'll give you a sneak peek of my habit tracker here. All of these lines are a little bit wavy because my hand was not wanting to draw very well, but it just adds kind of a doodle feeling to it, and I'm okay with it. I like to sketch when ribbons are intertwining with other objects so that I can have an idea of where I need to draw the lines for the other objects and where I need to have the ribbon overlap. So I think it'll go over and under here. And the whole idea of this month was to bring me back to my drawing roots of doodling, just kind of being free with my art rather than so refined. I sometimes get frustrated that I don't draw hyper realistic art, which I would love to do, but I also am neglecting a style that I'm already familiar with, a free style. I saw something on Instagram the other day, or this morning actually, and it was the lines, it was outlined. Let's see if I have a piece of paper. So there was some outlines, and let's say it said love or something like that. You can see that. These rough block letters that I'm doing. And then the marker was actually outside of part of the line, and it was perfectly imperfect. It had some dots and some other cutesy elements to it, and I really, really liked it. And I can draw like that. I just get so obsessed with if I ever go outside the lines and then I have to redo it. And I want to get myself over that a little bit and develop my own style, which is what I would classify perfectly imperfect. Being okay with being perfectly imperfect, that's something I need to get used to. I'm not sure if this is going to say anything or if it's just a ribbon. I kind of like ribbons, and I may do a whole segment on ribbons just because they are fun to draw and have been a big part of me creating my bullet journal. And I will follow the lines sometimes, and then other times I think that I draw it better in a different way. I'm not worried about perfectly following the drawings here. I sat for a long time trying to think of what I wanted to do for February. I've really, really enjoyed having a theme for my month. I just really could not think of something that I just wanted to draw over and over again. And so when I decided that I wanted to just doodle, it was practically a no-brainer. I used to doodle all the time in class, and my teachers would get so angry with me, and they would ask me, "Trisha, what did I just say?" And I would be able to repeat almost verbatim what they had said and then be able to interpret it into my own ways. So doodling was a way for me to focus my energy and be able to actually still listen to what they said. Once I did that a couple of times, they never bothered me again while I was doodling. And sometimes doodling is creating the same shape over and over again, or creating the same drawing over and over again. And sometimes it is just random drawing. Neither way is wrong. That's what I love about doodling. Add some over here. Kind of like curly cues at the end. Just adds a little bit extra whimsy, I think. Doodles to me are always a little bit more whimsical than other type of drawing. I tried drawing some stars today, and I realized that I still did not know how to draw stars other than making the lines cross like that. And so one of my pages may have to be dedicated to drawing stars. I have a favorite eraser tool, and I don't know if you've ever used this eraser tool before. It is, I don't even know what it's called. It's a gum eraser, maybe? I'll have to look up the name. But this is my favorite eraser. For one thing, it does not leave any eraser fuzz. That cleans up, and it cleans up really nicely. It doesn't do harsh erasing, so if you have a very dark line that needs to be erased, you'll need to go in with another eraser. It's a kneadable eraser, I think that's what it's called. So I think I'll just keep this box here. I don't want to use whiteout on it. I found these at Michael's, and they're fine liners, and I like the colors. think they were about $5 or something like that. I like to put on my calendar when I'm going to sync my finances. And I'll do one the end of the month as well. I'll probably do it the first of the month starting in March, but this is the first time I've ever tried using color codes so that I don't have to write everything on there. We'll see how it goes. Maybe I will add an extra box here and have different colors for my blog and for YouTube and Instagram. Maybe I will do that. Another big one that I need to do is clean out my phone, my computer hard drive. I need to do that at least once a month. So I've got all my personal at the top. Maybe I will do my blog at the bottom. I may add some colors to this, not just black and white. And I discovered yesterday when doing this that these watercolor very nicely. I just added a little bit of water to a water pen. If you don't have these, they're awesome. Or you can also use a typical paintbrush and just add a little bit of water and do that. Maybe I'll show you real quick. So I will add a little bit of color. This is also a great blending technique. A little bit darker down here. I want one with a little bit thinner tip. Oh well, I didn't find it. But so I added the color down here, and most of the color will stay there. It'll just kind of spread. And you can see the difference. Maybe you can. But this one's very light just because I use the color from the brush. But wherever you color first, it will stay the darkest. So that's good to know when you're creating shadows. You do have to be careful when you have text or when you have things on the other side and you've added water on both sides, it will bleed. Well, and this is in my LT book, another word that I don't dare say because I butcher the name. And I will have links to all of these things down in the bottom. If I wanted to make this blend in and not have the cross hatches in it, it makes it very smooth. And I didn't clean my brush in between, and I probably should have. So I think that should do it for today. Links are in the description below for all products used, as well as links to the blog post for this video. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, and leave a thumbs up on the video, and don't forget to visit me on my social media channels. You'll often get sneak peeks on Instagram and Twitter, and I have a whole lineup of inspiration on my blog and on my Pinterest account. I hope you remember to plan your life beautifully, and don't be afraid to discover your inner muse. See you next time.